Okay, welcome back actually to Nordic Challenge Cup here at Classic Motorsport Top. It's been about 2.5 months since we last raced in the wonderful lands of, well, actually we were in, well, just Scandinavia. Last time we were in Finland. Now we go back to Sweden. We're at Mantorp Park in Sweden. Beautiful track. Home track of our star driver Wilmar Johnson in the number 5 Lola, the yellow car. And well, I'll just quickly hold myself short because we have a lead commentator who, well, kind of trial by fire. Welcome to Mantorp Park, Jack Morelli.
Thank you. So, Nordic Challenge Cup. This is going to be an interesting race. It's an interesting series actually because they've only did 3 races in real life, if I'm not mistaken, in like late summer of 1969. And the stars, they're fun. You're going to see what I mean once the race starts. Anyway, this is the third round of this season. So let's go check the results of the previous race and where the drivers are standing, if we have that. There we go. First, Matthew Sibagnoni with the prototype 3000 with 40 points. He's in the lead. Second place goes to Wilmer Jonsson, Sports 5000 with 30 points, just 10 points behind the lead. Third is our German boy Pascal Mikula with the prototype 3000 at 30 points, so he's in a tie with Wilmer. In fourth place, Filippo Marazzi with 29 points. Fifth place, Juan Guerrero with 25 points. Sixth, Pascal Kalide with 24 points. Seventh, Gustavo Losburro with a Sports 5000 at 21 points. Eighth, Endri Baku with 21 points. Ninth, Owen Potter, Sports 2000 with 18 points. And 10th, Juho Sopanen with 16 points, who will unfortunately not join us tonight. Then we have in 11th place, Edis Batars with 16 points. Lucas Gomez with 15 points takes 12th place. 13th, Pau Armesto with 14 points. And on 14th place, last place, Jacob Richard with 12 points. Overall, it seems like the people higher up in the scoreboards are quite close together. So we're probably bound to see some interesting battles going on to overtake the other people on the scoreboards and eventually climb to the top.
With that said, we can have a quick look at the, we currently have the warm-up underway. We're waiting for a few people still, namely Martin Rudig, who just left the server, and Leo Smith. I don't know if they're aware that we have a race right now. Let me just tag them real quick. So, having a look at the point system, there's no graphic for that at the moment. But I'm going to have to restart warm-up real quick. There we go. Yep. Looking at the point system real quick, we have that in the rules. The winner gets 30 points. So that's why Wilma Johnson and myself have 30 points each, because Wilma Johnson won the first race at Karlskoga, and I won the second race at Keimola in Finland. Second place gets 25 points, then it goes down 21 for third place, 18, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So basically the top 20 drivers the top 20 drivers get points in the, you know, in the whole field. There's no different championship per class. I mean, we got let's see if we got different car classes here. We definitely have the 5-liter sports cars, which are like the Lola T70 or the Ford GT. For example, Juan Guerrero has a Ford GT. Wilmot Johnson has one of the Lolas. Then we got, who is honking their horn? I don't know who's honking their horn, but that's annoying to all hell. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, you on screen you currently have Wilmot Johnson in the number 5 Lola T70, so he's definitely one of the favorites for the championship in general and this race. This is his home race as well. He literally lives near Mantorp Park, so he's, definitely. He's very let's say, devastated that he lost pole position during qualifying. He had it locked down, and then yours truly kind of went faster. So Wilmar, my sincerest apologies, but I couldn't really help it. Speaking of Mantorp Park, let's have a look at the map, and Jack can talk us through that as well. Beautiful layout, in my opinion.
Absolutely. That is indeed a beautiful track. Not many corners, as we've seen in other races and other seasons, but still a beautiful track, if you ask me. It's located in Mantorp, Sweden. It's 4.098 kilometers long, or 2.546 miles. 9 turns. The race is going to be about 42 laps. The total distance will be 172.1 kilometers, or 106.9 miles.
Yes, I think that's actually one of the first times we've seen this track in R Factor. How do I know? Well, I kind of converted the track, so I know. Anyway, speaking back to the classes, to introduce anyone who hasn't watched the Nordic Challenge Cup races in the past, as I said, we got the 5-liter sports cars. That's the Ford GTs and the Lola T70s. Then we got 3-liter prototypes. For example, Porsche 908s. I drive a Porsche 908, and I think Lucas Gomez drives a Porsche 908. And as far as I'm aware, Felipe Marazzi also drives a Porsche 908 today. And then down at the bottom, the small, nimble, little funny cars. Not funny cars, but funny cars. The 2-liter sports cars consists of, for example, Leo Smith, who today drives a Chevron B16, the number 77. You can see on screen right now. And also Martin Rudik, who drives a Porsche 906, I think that is. I mean, it's either a 906 or a 910. I don't know how you really how you tell them apart. They really, if you look at the entry list, 906 and the 910 look very similar. In fact, it's a 906 that Martin Rudik is driving. So, because it's the only 906 on the entry list. With that said, we're currently in warm-up still. Power Ernesto has just left the server while I was setting the grid, so we're still waiting for him. And when he's back, set the grid again, and then we go racing at Mantorp Park. Any predictions? We only have 9 cars to qualify for the race, which is, given how many people have registered for the series, is a bit embarrassing, but looking at the amount of cars and how close it is at the top, Jack, you've watched a bit of practice as well. What do you think is going to happen? Especially given we have the start of the race on the long back straight, airstrip, drag strip kind of tarmac.
I think we're going to see some cars spin out. Because,
you think?
Yes, absolutely. Because these cars are not easy to drive, as most race cars, especially the prototypes and that kind of stuff. However, people are close in the leaderboard. They're going to be pushing their cars real hard to overtake one another on the scoreboard and try to be on the top. That's bound to be a disaster. Well, I hope not. So I really hope that the drivers this evening keep their cool and give us some really awesome, stunning battles on the track, and that everything goes fine. But again, these cars are really, really a handful.
Well, yeah, they indeed are. I mean, especially when they have cold tires. I mean, you got the cars are heavier than what you would expect them to be. They still are only about 1,000 kilos, but still, they're quite heavy for race cars. Then again, they're sports cars. They're not supposed to be featherweights. But still, you may have 1,000 kilos pushing down on those tires, but you still have like old tires. And especially if you look at it, the first corner that the cars will be taking at race speed is that long right-hander, that one long 180-degree right-hander. I don't know if we can get a camera shot of that corner with the different cameras. I don't know if that's a possibility, but let's see. Kind of going through all of the cams. That's turn 1 itself. But generally, it's a long 180. Oh, not that either. Let's keep scrolling through. We're now on the back straight. That's the start finish straight. Let's see. Yeah, that's the back straight that we're looking at, which has the lines in the middle. Let us just keep going a bit. One more. There we go. That corner, look at it's banked. Well, not only is it banked, it's also pretty tight. And the groove is very tight as well. So if you miss the line through there, you really kind of just have to hold on for dear life. So, that's that.
That's exactly what I meant. Also, these curbs are killers. You touch them, you spin out. That's the end of it.
Kind of end of discussion in that case. And as I said, and as we kind of mentioned, it's 42 laps. So you may, you kind of want your car to finish lap 42 and not die on lap 1.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. Anyway, we're still waiting for Pau Amesto, who is disconnected. However, I'm not going to restart warm-up a 4th time. So if he doesn't appear within the next 3.5 minutes, unfortunately, we have to start without him. Either way, while we wait, we can already take the wind out of some sails and have a look at what's actually coming up next at CMH. I'm already going way far ahead of myself. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure our director is kind of sorting out the graphics that I gave him. Let's look at what's coming up next at CMH while we wait for Pau. There we go. Yes, the Silverstone Grand Prix for Formula 5000 happens in exactly 11 days. So this is the 2nd time this year we go to Silverstone with Formula 5000. 3rd time in total that we go to Silverstone. Remember, the 1st time was with little itty-bitty Formula Ford cars. Oh, that was a lot of fun. But on August 22nd, the 5-liter V8s will roar back to life at Silverstone. And if the Thruxton race from last Sunday, or Saturday actually it was, looked interesting, come on. Registrations are open. There are a lot of cars available. Next up, for the annual Classic Motorsport Hub Gold Star Award, we go touring car racing, the 20th ADAC Flugplatzrennen at the Diepholz Airport on August 29th, 2021. I did a check on the entry list, and it's packed. There's 22 cars in the entry list, and 15 are taken. There are only a few available, which is I think 2 BMW M3s, 3 BMW 6 Series, and 2 Volvo 240 turbos. So, they're still available. And if you want to do some DTM racing at an airport track with tire chicanes, they are tricky, but they're fun. Come on, come to the new CMH forum. The link is in the stream description below, and sign up. And next up, after that, we go back to the Nordic Challenge Cup. After a long absence, we get 2 races in a row. The 4th round at Anderstorp on September 1st, 2021, with more than 25 cars still available to choose from. The Anderstorp circuit, it's a really, really prestigious circuit in Sweden. Like, it hosted the Swedish Grand Prix for a few years. And yeah, we'll do the full course, and it's really, really, really fun to drive as well. So come join CMH. We do this Nordic Challenge Cup stuff still on the Discord while we transfer to the forum. But yeah, basically, your best advice to join both, because we will use the forum full time from 2022 onwards. Anyway, Nordic Challenge Cup, September 1st, round 4 at Anderstorp. That's basically it. And I've actually babbled on long enough that we only have 20 seconds left to go in the warm-up. And when that's done, we go to the Recon Lap procedure. Same as on Formula 5000. So let's see. Let's see how this goes. I'm quite excited. Especially because there we go. Yeah, I'm really excited. Where's Oh, I see an error. Edit grid 8. I need to have a look at the results again. Anyway, Jack, it's your second time commentating actually, and your first time doing it full time without Matt helping you out. Are you exciting? Well, I hope you're exciting.
I'm a pretty exciting person, yes. But yes, I am excited and a little bit nervous. This is my first solo flight, but I'm sure I'll be able to handle it.
Okay, in that case, well, because the thing is, I'll be driving, and I can't really. Well, I can drive and talk at the same time, but not that much.
Yeah.
I need to check. I need to double check the results real quick from qualifying. It's myself, Wilma, Juan, Lucas, Daniel, yeah, Martin Rudek, Felipe Marazzi, and Leo Smith. Okay. And let's go. We are ready to go. So the good luck wishes are being held, and cars are able to exit the pits in about 10 seconds. Well, let's see how this goes.
All right, we're about to see the first Recon Laps of this 1969 Nordic Challenge Cup, the 3rd round. The cars are now leaving the pits and entering the track. Pool is leading the way, taking it easy around the corners, warming up the tires, as he would normally do. Getting close to that curb there. There he is, just spinning away on the straight.
So Wilmer Johnson's on track now as well. He just overtook Daniel Prigoda. I don't know. How do you pronounce that name? It's got this Z in front.
I have no idea. I just gave up reading some of these names. This entirely.
Well, then again, it's actually also good to see some new faces. I mean, Leo Smith, Martin Rudik, and Daniel Prigoda. I'm just gonna say Prigoda. Prigoda, yeah. Daniel. I'm just gonna call him Daniel. They have never done a CMH race before, so their debut, their debut, is actually at this race. And really, I couldn't have chosen a better race to debut for them to debut at than this, honestly. I mean, it's
We
really
do
just
have newbies
iconic.
on the track.
Yep.
Hmm.
Good.
Well, that's gonna make things more interesting. Do they have enough experience to drive these cars on this particular circuit?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is the question. Will they be able to keep their cool while battling for a position? That's the thing that's the things that we don't know yet, that we are going to see during the actual race. And it's going to be interesting to watch. And Johnson is stopped on the track. Okay, he's back in the
Yeah, he's
pits.
just getting towed back. You can tow back to the pits as much as you want during the actual recon laps. So let's have a look. Daniel Prigoda, Martin Rudik, and myself are currently set on the grid, so we're ready to go. Leo Smith has just left the pits. I think that's Filippo Marazzi, who is now entering the back straight.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear him actually. You know, that flat 8 Porsche has just a really, really distinct sound, and I love it. And there's Leo Smith coming through turn 4, I think that is, onto the back straight. Yeah.
Ooh. Filippo went off the track a little bit, but he managed to slow down enough and recover it. You
Well
really
done
don't
to
want
him.
to go out on a recon lap.
Well, it's not that big of a drama, really. You can crash hard and then just get pulled back to the pits, and if necessary, just get into the spare car. Anyway, Wilma Johnson, hometown hero and favorite for the race win, arguably the favorite for the race win, has also just left the pits. I just heard a big V8 start up in the pits as well. That might have been Juan Guerrero, who was driving a Ford GT40. Johnson now in the back straight. Wonderful. That Lola T70 with the 5-liter V8, 500 horsepower. Compared to the 400 something that the 3-liter cars have, he definitely has a power advantage. But you know what they say about cars with big American V8s? They really don't handle well in the corners.
All comes down to driving experience at this point.
Hmm.
Can he handle that big engine?
Well, he's definitely fast. I mean, as I said, until like about the last minutes of qualifying, he had the pole position. Let's see. Marazzi just went through the pits to start another recon lap. That is allowed and completely fine. So, Leo Smith has joined the grid. I think there's one engine actually running somewhere on the grid or in the pits. I don't know who it belongs to. Well, actually, we can. Oh, it's Filippo Marazzi. No, it's Lucas Gomez, whose engine is just idling away peacefully in the pits. And also Daniel Prigoda. He hasn't turned his engine off. But okay, you don't have to be fair. So let's just wait. There's 4 minutes and 20 seconds left until the pits close. Nice. And Wilma Johnson's also on the grid now. I'm excited.
So we were waiting for, what, 2 cars? 1 car?
Yep. Marazzi is still on track, and Gomez and Guerrero are still in the pits. They are waiting until the last minute to get out on track.
To get rid of as much traffic as possible.
Oh yeah. Also, they don't want to, because the thing is, if you get out on track early, what's that noise? That's. Oh, I just noticed I'm starting to roll forward, but I need to back up a bit. hold on. Yeah, if you rolled out on track early, you just kind of waste fuel, you know.
Yeah, true. Also, that's Filippo Marazzi pulling up to the grid, right behind Goda.
Yeah, Daniel Prigoda. Let's
Yes,
just settle on that.
Daniel.
5 minutes left to go until the start of the formation lap, and I thought there was going to be one of those lights at the starter bridge that would go out, but I think not. Okay. Let's just wait real quick. But yeah, as you mentioned, the Nordic Challenge Cup, I'm actually quite surprised I found this, because someone's flashing their lights at me. Why? Who is that? That's Daniel.
Everyone is flashing lights at you.
Yeah. And I hear a Porsche. That's Lucas Gomez
Yep, he's getting out of the pits right now.
in one of the Flunder 908s.
Oh, and right behind him, there's Guerrero with the 4GT also coming out of the pits.
Yes. Here they come. There goes one of the lights on the bridge. I knew it. There we go. I love this game. I love the technology in this game as well. I mean, that's just great.
It's
I would
really
never have,
impressive.
I would never have thought of that if I had designed a racing simulator in 2005.
Exactly. This game is like, what, 15, 16 years old almost, and it continues to amaze me with all the details that it's got.
And
It's
people
just
say it's dead.
Exactly. It's just a 2005 game, yes, but it's got so many details packed into it that it just makes it an amazing game that it's still able to compete with other more modern games. Some of them don't even support oval racing or proper braking in some cases on some of these modern new games. This one's it simulates a lot of stuff. It's extremely realistic and it's got plenty of details that normally you wouldn't even notice.
And as you know, you get criticism about this game, which is at some points fully understandable. Like, the graphics aren't the best, and whatever, and the physics aren't 100% realistic. I mean, yeah, but you know, technology in 2005 was something different. We still had dial-up modems, for Christ's sake. At least I did in 2005. I still had a dial-up modem at home. Anyway, oh, there comes Lucas Gomez.
Ooh, he's pulling into the grid.
There he goes.
Yep.
He finds his way to the grid. The only one's missing, that's Juan Guerrero. He will park right behind me. And yeah, but you know, for the fact how old this game is, it's really impressive. Anyway, Juan Guerrero's on the grid. The pits close exactly in 3, 2, 1, and 2 minutes left until the start of the race.
Excellent.
Time to make predictions.
Oh boy.
There's only 8 cars to choose from, so you can't really go that wrong.
Well, yes, but it's not a question about who is the most, who's gonna be the fastest. It's gonna be who's gonna be the most skilled, who's gonna be able to keep control of their car.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the F5000 race that we've had earlier last week. You need to be skillful, and you need to be able to keep your cool to control these cars during a battle. Now, the difference between the F5000 race we've had and this race is that everyone is really close together on the leaderboard. So we're going to see a lot of battles, I hope. And that tends to push people a bit over the limit. They're going to push their cars a bit too much, and they're going to make mistakes.
All right, 1 minute to go. Engines are being started. And yeah, I agree in that way. But also at the same time, I must think we're in Sweden, we're in Mantorp Park. It would be most popular for Wilma Johnson to win. Being the, you know, and also as a racing driver, you kind of have to be a bit egoistic. So I would say, you know, I hope I win. But then there's always player 3. In this
Yep.
case, it's Juan Guerrero. That Ford GT won Le Mans 3 years running, even 3 or 4 times in a row. That car has some bang behind itself, and the driver sure as hell isn't a bad one. So let's see. 10 seconds left to go until the lights come on and we start the formation lap for round 3 of the Nordic Challenge Cup. Take it away. Let's go.
All right. We're going to be eagerly waiting for the formation lap and then the proper start of the race. The grid is as follow. Mikula in P1.
Hold on.
Yes.
Wait. There's something amiss. Oh, I lost connection. Did the server crash? I think the server... At least I lost connection. I don't know. Okay, that's not good.
It seems we're having some technical issues with the server.
That's not bad.
Yes, indeed. Mikula, you are the only one who crashed. Everybody else is still fine on the server. You left.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't know what's going on. Is the green light out, or are they still waiting?
You're still waiting.
I see. It's the server says the server says 1 second. Okay. I'm sorry for that little disruption. I will quickly. Yeah, this is a very unfortunate thing that just happened. Yeah, it was me that lost connection, but at the same time, the fact that I lost connection also meant that the whole race basically didn't get underway because I lost connection. Because as the pole sitter, you know, you lead them away. And I need to find, where is it? Where does it say? There it is. I need to turn that off, and then we can restart the server. Shoot, I just closed it. Yeah, because the pole sitter, me, lost connection. The game just basically went, okay, what do we do now? And no one got away, as far as I could tell. So I just restarted the server and it's back running. Server's back running.
All right. So just make sure that everything is working correctly. Double check everything, and let's see if we can.
Yeah, all I did was
restart.
I think the only thing that really happened was just that I lost connection. I don't know what it only happened to me, so it couldn't have been a big issue. But as I said, because the pole sitter lost connection before the race got underway, the whole race start procedure just kind of went like E.
What do we do now? Yeah, exactly. Go.
Well,
confused.
I just restarted the server. Everyone is joining again. And I will set the grid as soon as everyone's on the server. 6 people are on the server, which is good. And then we get underway. 7 people on the server, only 2 people missing. So we can go back to the game as soon as possible. Paimon, our director, is connecting to the server as well. 8 people. The only person missing now is Leo Smith. Never mind, there he is. Okay. Now I have to put the grid order again. It was myself on pole, Wilmar Johnson second, Juan Guerrero third, And now I have to look at the files because I don't remember. Actually, batch template session qualifying. And oh yeah, that's now messed up. Oh no. So Daniel Prigoda just left the game. So we have to wait again and again and again. So let's have a look. Who qualified? Oh, there we go. I have the order. Minus Power Amesto.
Nesto seems to be gone.
No, Armesto isn't gone. No, Armesto isn't gone. It's just Prigoda who's gone. His
Oh.
R factor crashed. There we go. So yeah, the only person I have asked where he qualified is Power Amesto because he didn't, his game crashed before qualifying was over, so he wasn't included in the batch file. So I got I got myself on pole again. Wilma Johnson second. Juan Guerrero third. Okay, Pau just said last. Okay, I was last. Okay, Pau must goes down the order then, I guess. Then Lucas Gomez is fourth, is behind Juan Guerrero. Daniel Bregoda. Martin Rudik. Felipe Marazzi, Leo Smith, and Power Mesto. Okay. Okay. We're ready to go. Let's see. We'll give the drivers a few seconds to load their setups, and then we're ready to go for another 42 laps. Let's go. Good. Everyone will be directly on the grid. No shenanigans. And by the way, yeah, there we go. We're back in the game. 20 seconds to go until the start. Again, with a normal formation lap and the start on the back straight. I will now mute myself because I have to get the formation lap stuff done. So, Jack, have fun.
Will do.
All right.
All right, we're going to be eagerly waiting for the formation lap to take place. Oh, and there we go. Mikula is leading, followed by Johnson in P2, Guerrero, Gomez, Prigoda, Rudik, Marazzi, Smith, and in last place, Armesto. Pole position car is is leading the other cars around the lap. And soon we're gonna see some very exciting racing.
So basically, now the thing is, we have one whole formation lap, and then on the second formation lap, I put that in big air quotes. On the back straight, we go green. With that said, that means basically everyone gets to test out their car on a full tank, or as full as they have it for the race, through each corner before we go. Everyone has a bit of an opportunity to check their braking points, check their brakes, check their brains.
Their brains. You're gonna need that.
Yeah, I mean, you need your brain, otherwise you just plow into everyone.
Yes, otherwise you'd just be a vegetable driving a very fast sports car.
Basically. Anyway, you can see in the background behind me the weaving. Johnson is definitely warming up his tires. He wants to get into turn 1 first. And the thing is, with that Lola V8, with that big V8, I think it's a Chevy or a Ford V8, I don't know exactly. That big V8 behind him, he definitely has the engine power, so I've already receded my first place to Johnson into turn 1, because I know I'm not going to be able to keep him.
Essentially given up on that front.
Yeah, basically, because again, as I said, he has close to like 50 or 60 horsepower more than me. Everyone's bunching up. Everyone's bunching up now. At about 80 kilometers an hour. And as soon as everyone's on the back straight, the green flag will be thrown. And again, Jack Morelli in the booth will call it.
Boy, this is exciting as the cars are about to enter the last corner before the back straight. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Green flag. Spreading out on the track, trying to find a gap to overtake. And Johnson went on the inside of Mikula and took the lead. And Gomez are really close right now. Gomez is trying to find a gap, and someone went off the track in a Porsche. Who is that? Armesto. Armesto went off the track. He seems to have recovered. Moving to the front of the pack, we have Mikula, who, as I said earlier, he already made up his mind about losing that position to Johnson, but he doesn't seem very happy about it, and he's trying to go for the attack as he squiggles about on that corner. Trying to find an entrance where he could get in and eventually overtake Johnson. But Johnson's got the power. If he keeps the car stable during the straights, he's going to widen the gap. And Mikula is getting very close. But Johnson shuts the door right in front of him. Magnificent driving. And again, getting very close to that rear bumper. Hopefully the backfire doesn't hit your face up. Again, just battling for that P1 position. Meanwhile, the gap to the rest of the pack is widening. It's up to 3.5 seconds from the lead car for Guerrero. And Mikula is on the inside, but he doesn't have the power to take it. He is trying his best to overtake and pressure Johnson into making a mistake as he goes a little bit off track, Mikula. But he just lacks that 50 or 60 horsepower. Never mind, because on the straight they are side by side. As he's trying his damn best to overtake him. Can he complete the maneuver? Yes, he can. Oh, never mind. He's off the track. Commentator's curse. I should probably speak to Matt about this. Mikula lost his chance, sadly, as he went too fast into that corner, trying to overtake the car behind him, Jönsson, who is, well, now in front. Looking at the back, we have Smith and Ernesto. Ernesto battling with Rudik for that position, for 7th position it seems, and they both seem to be very squiggly. And Gomez is off the track as well. Okay, didn't see that happen. Ernesto goes wide and crashes into the barrier. Oh my god, will he keep going? Almost crashes into Gomez, but Gomez flashes his high beams and gets Ernesto out of the way. How is that car still running? Oh, well, I guess not. Boy, oh boy, what a spin out for Ernesto, who crashes out again. Gomez also crashed on the start-finish straight. Spun out. What an exciting race. This is what I was talking about. You get too focused into passing the driver in front of you that you end up making a mistake if you're not too careful. Meanwhile, Mikula is trying again to close the gap with Jönsson, who, by the way, raced on this track IRL. So he does have real-life experience on this track. Will that be an advantage? Or will it not matter, considering he's driving a much different car from what he, well, drives normally? There's only one way to find out. On the start-finish straight, will Mikula get close enough, just close enough to draft the car in front of him and gain just a couple of milliseconds on him and close the gap even more? To get into the corner, it seems like the gap is actually very stable.
I can see a bit of a issue with Wilmer's car. I can see his brake lights flashing on the straight, so he might have some sort of malfunction in his brakes, which may or may not hold him back. But he's still holding steady. But it's a bit, yeah. He's got his brakes. He's either using his brakes tactically on the straight to keep his car stable, or he has a malfunctioning brake. Either of which kind of slow him down there.
That makes things more exciting. And while Mikula seems to be able to close the gap, and he's going for the overtake again, but he lacks the power. That Porsche, let me tell you, it's a damn fast car. It's just missing that 50 to 60 horsepower that would give him the advantage on the straights. However, Jönsson seems to be struggling a little bit with those corners, as Mikula closes the gap even more, and they are now, again, bumper to bumper. Ooh, bit of a sideways moment there for the Swedish driver. Just the tail end kicking out a little bit, and here's the straight again. Will Mikula attempt another overtake? Almost, but no, he is not able. However, he takes up the inside and just zooms across that corner, going wide at the end and letting Jönsson through. This is an exciting battle. They've been bumper to bumper ever since the race started, except for that minor accident Mikula had. But it seems like both of them are determined for that P1 position. As he goes again for the attack, but again, lacks the power. Seems like the gap with the rest of the pack is widening even more. It's now up to 23.2 seconds from the lead car. Mikula is trying to go for the attack again, and he's sideways and he spun out in his Porsche. Oh my god. Will he be able to close the gap again after this accident?
No, fun fact, Wilmer saw that apparently and he slowed down. That's he didn't need to do that, but that's, you know, I would call that very much high sportsmanship. High sportsmanship.
What a magnificent show of sportsmanship from the Swedish driver. He seems to have
What a man, I swear.
Yes. He seems to know that he has more experience than Mikula, or maybe it's just trying to have fun with him, which would mean he's a psychopath. But sometimes a race car driver needs to be a little bit of a psychopath in order to win a race. Let's go along this long straight again. Start-finish straight. Bit of a squiggly moment there for the German driver, but he seems to keep it under control and keep the pressure on the Swedish. Oh my god, Jönsson spun out and Mikula stopped right in time. Jesus, that could have been a disaster, but thankfully Mikula's brakes are working fine, and he took P1. He pressured Jönsson enough to cause him to make a mistake as he flashes his light on the straight. There we go, side by side again. Not enough power on that Porsche, sadly. As Jönsson locks up. However, that last crash meant that the pack has now closed the gap a little bit, because it's now down to 14.9 seconds. Starts, finish straight again. Will Mikula be able to attack? Seems to have taken a better line than the Swedish, but it wasn't enough. However, they are now bumper to bumper, but Jönsson is right in front of him, closing the door for an overtake. Side by side again on the straight. They are really pushing those cars, but Jönsson just have way too much power as Mikula touches the curb and spins out again. He's off the track and he's back. Again, you keep the pressure on someone, they're gonna make a mistake, and you're gonna cash in on that mistake. That's how racing works. And I find it brilliant. However, will Mikula be able to close the gap again?
I think I'm seeing someone in the pits. Might be
Gomez.
yeah, Lucas Gomez.
Yes, he's in
making
the pits.
a pit stop, and given that these races are rather short, that's not a planned one. Must be some sort of emergency with this car.
Yeah, it's probably a mechanical failure, I would imagine. Or perhaps a problem with his computer. Either way, the battle for first seems to still be on, as Mikula tries his darnest best to catch up with the lead driver Jonsson.
But you know what? And there also is a great battle going on at the moment. There's a battle between Martin Rudik and Filippo Marazzi. Remember, Rudik is driving a 2-liter Porsche 910, and Marazzi is driving a Porsche 908. So it's not even they're not even in the same class, but they seem to be fighting. They seem to be fighting very closely for a few laps already. They're less than a second apart.
Let's get on board with
Let's have a look at
Marazzi.
those.
Smith went off. We just caught that. There's Rudik. There's Marazzi right behind him. These two cars just racing away, doing their best on the straight to catch up. Marazzi is attempting to close the gap. Bit of a lock-up. Oh, squiggly. Very squiggly for Marazzi. But he seems to be able to keep it under control and keep the pressure on Rudik. As they go onto the straight, Marazzi attempts to close the gap millisecond by millisecond, mathematically attempting to chip away at the gap with the car in front of him. It's a big lockup for Marazzi, who almost understeered off the track on that corner, but managed to let go of the brakes and turn the steering wheel. Meanwhile, Smith has a blue flag, or is getting out of the pits and letting the other cars pass. He seems to be able to just very, very slowly chip away at the gap with the car in front of him. Meanwhile, back at the front of the pack, Mikula is still keeping the pressure on Jonsson. My God, is this not exciting? Just keeping the pressure and ooh, getting oh so close to that rear bumper on the yellow car right in front of him. As he goes right into the corner and into the bushes. My God. That could have spelled disaster for the German driver Pascal Mikula. But he managed to keep the car under control and get it back on the track to have another try at P1. He's getting closer, ever so slightly.
And Marazzi, I think, no, that's Amesto, who just unlapped himself from Rudik, as Rudik, actually, I think, has just saw that, goes into the pits. Yes, he is. So the Porsche 910 of Martin Rudik is now in the pits. That means that battle is over.
It took his place. That makes me wonder, why did Rudik pit? Mechanical failure?
Probably something wrong with his car. Maybe fuel, I don't know, tires? He could have had a puncture or something. Well, that's something that can always happen as well. Who knows?
Considering Marazzi was really keeping the pressure on him, I wouldn't be surprised if he managed to get a puncture on one of these curves, or maybe by braking too much.
Who knows?
And the track is as follows. The current positions are P1, Johnson, the favorited driver for this race, as is the home driver. Half a second behind Mikula, just keeping the pressure on him and going wide. Again, not being able to keep up with his own pressure, it seems. In third place, we have Guerrero, 26.3 seconds behind the lead car. In fourth place, Goda. Then we have Marazzi in fifth place, who just won the battle with Rudik and took his position away from him once Rudik decided to pit. Rudik is a lap down. So are Ernesto, Gomez, and Smith. Actually, I tell a lie. Gomez and Smith are 2 laps down. So it seems like the groups are, very spread out, and they're not all bunched up together except for the let-down cars that are eventually going to be, in the way of the lead drivers, but that's what the blue flag is for. Mikula taking a very aggressive line through that corner. Excuse me, almost too aggressive. But again, he's been attempting to close that gap for a while now. And despite all the problems that he's had by going off the track and braking too much or spinning out, he is still just 1.4 seconds behind the car.
Big news.
Yes.
I don't know if you just saw that Juan Guerrero is retired from the race out of nowhere, and given that the message instantly came that he left the game, I think he lost connection.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Guerrero is out of the race. Yes, it seems like he lost connection. So we are 1 car down. Which is unfortunate, but tactical issues with computers and internet connections, those things can happen, sadly. Not everyone has the best internet in the world or the best computer in the world. Mainly because most people can't afford them, so there's bound to be problems like this, unfortunately, in sim racing. Anyway, while that was going on, Mikula seems to be still keeping the pressure on Jonsson. Slowly closing the gap. As the cars go onto the long straight, will Mikula be able to attack and perform an overtake, or will Jonsson's car be too powerful for him? He seems to have closed the gap even more. However, Jonsson's car, as I've said multiple times during this race, that extra 50 horsepower really helps on the straight. However, Mikula just attempted to get on Jonsson's right for an overtake. And he's closing the gap even more. They are now bumper to bumper as they race towards the last corner before the start-finish straight. And into the first corner. Mikula seems to be taking a very aggressive line through that corner, which I think is what's keeping him that close to Jonsson's car. Just that aggressive line, almost going into the gravel, or rather dirt. And I say that as they are again bumper to bumper. And he's going for the overtake again on the long straight. Will he be able to complete the maneuver once he gets to the corner? Wait, it seems like, yes, he shut the door in front of the Swedish. Never mind, he squiggled a bit and pulled too wide, but he's closing the door again as he gets to the next corner. My God, he's really determined to not let go of P1 now. And it seems like Jonsson is going sideways a little bit as they are about to pass a lap down car. That is Armesto. Should be getting the blue flag now. As they get onto the start-finish straight, and oh, Jonsson got really close and he spun out. He spun out on the start-finish straight. He could not keep the pressure on Mikula and just spun out, lost control of the car, but quickly recovered and is now back in the race. However, that was just enough of a mistake to give Mikula a 6.9 second gap. However, it doesn't matter because Jonsson's car just makes so much horsepower that he's closing the gap again as they go back on the long straight. Will Jonsson attempt an overtake here? My God, this is the kind of stuff that keeps me glued to my chair as they go around the corner bumper to bumper. 0.2 seconds is the gap between these two. And ooh, Mikula seems to have spun out and Jonsson stopped for him, letting Ernesto pass. But it seems like Jonsson's sportsmanship is paying off. Mikula thanking Jonsson by flashing his high beams. And the race keeps going. And he spun out again.
It looks like the... Oh, shoot. Well, the engine just died, so I need to fire that one up again. Well, after the first spin, the tires are a bit hot, so...
That's understandable.
Well, let's go again. Well, and then again, Jonsson didn't spin, so he's got the lead, fair and square.
But he's letting you pass.
Hey, we're kind of just having fun, man. We're so far ahead of third place, we can afford to play a few games.
Fair enough, I want to remind...
And I really have a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, that's what racing is about, having fun. That's what Raikkonen would tell you, at least. That's why he races for Alpha. Anyways, you would be correct, because the gap with third place is still 27.7 seconds. The gap with fourth place is 58.1 seconds. So again, the cars are really spread out on the track. So we're not going to be having problems with cars running into each other and bunching up into one place. As Mikula and Jonsson go again on the long straight, seems like Jonsson is closing the gap. It wasn't quick enough to close that gap though, as he take the inside line on the corner, but eventually ends up going just that tiny bit too wide, so that Mikula could shut the door in front of him. And this is the thing with these cars. They're heavy, and once your tires are worn out, you gotta be careful. I say that as Mikula goes off the track a little bit, but seems to be able to keep it under control as they go up to the last corner. And Jonsson is in the lead now. He's taking the lead from Mikula again, which means Mikula is gonna be battling for P1 all over again. That is an amazing battle for first place. As they go around that corner, bumper to bumper. My God, look how close they are. As they go again on the long straight, will Mikula attempt another overtake over here? or really lack the power to do so. Let's see. Getting into the corner. Big lockup for Johnson. But he seems to be capable of shutting the door just enough on him to slow him down. And no! Mikula took the lead once again. Really driving. That lockup really screwed up Johnson. Get very touchy brakes with worn out tires, and this is the result. You lock up. It seems like the German is about to go past a lap-down car, which is Ernesto. On the start-finish straight, Johnson is literally kissing that Porsche's bumper as he tries to overtake, but retreats a little bit. Mikula flashing his eye beams, signaling the car in front that that blue flag is waiting for him, not the car behind him. Oh my God! Smith just crashed into Mikula! A lap-down car just crashed into the lead car, almost causing a massive wreck. I hope Mikula's car hasn't suffered any damages. Smith spins out right in front of Johnson. Oh my God!
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I know what's happening.
Well,
there we
you're
go.
The one on the track.
Yep. There goes Leo Smith. I kind of knew it. Let's keep going. I can tell you what happened. Leo Smith was a... Oh well, this car is battered. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'll tell you after the broadcast, Jack. Anyway, Leo Smith, well done. You held out long enough, but I knew we were gonna do that because you tried to take me out 10 laps ago. Nice try. Too bad, so sad. That didn't work, my friend. You hit the wrong part of me. You know, only the ones with the high IQ know where that reference comes from.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'll tell you after broadcast, Jack. It's hilarious.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let's get back to the race as Ernesto seems to be pitting, and Goda took the lead somehow. Johnson is right behind him with a gap of 3.9 seconds, and Mikula is 8.1 seconds behind the lead car.
The reason Prigoda is in the lead was because I had to... It killed my engine. Oh no, Prigoda is off!
Prigoda's gone off!
Johnson's back in the lead. No, the reason he got into the lead in the first place, fair play to him, he got into the lead fair and square because Wilmer and myself were stationary, is because I had to ban Leo Smith.
Oh, yeah, that takes time. Yeah.
Yeah. No, not just mostly. I can't speak. Mainly because I forgot the command at first. But you know. Anyway, my car is kind of battered. I don't know if we get an onboard shot of my car. The suspension is completely knackered.
Yeah, we can see that the right side of your car is completely collapsed.
Not just that, I have to turn. Oh, okay, that was just a driving mistake.
Johnson waits for you again?
Yeah, I kind of flashed my lights to just tell him, no, don't wait for me, just keep going. No, my right side suspension is damaged, so, because...
I can also see your steering is damaged, because the steering wheel is not straight.
Paimon, Paimon, I know you're hearing this, can you ban Leo Smith from the Discord, please? Thank you. While we're at it. And, yeah, with that said... Oh, this thing is really battered. I am not. No. I'll let Wilmer by. I'll let Wilmer by. He's not damaged. His car is not damaged. So. But yeah.
I'll let you focus on the race and your.
Yeah. Okay. I'll mute myself again. Jack. As I said, I'll explain to you what just happened. It's really hilarious, but yeah, continue calling the race.
Yep, no problem. So it seems like that despite the mechanical problems, never mind. It's gone wide on that corner again. Mikula seems to have suffered some mechanical damage to his front right suspension and steering after that crash with Smith, who has been banned from our servers. And he is now in third position with Prins Goda taking second place and Jonsson in first. Knowing Mikula is not going to give up that easy. If he can keep that car under control, he's probably going to go for the attack. They say that, and he just passed Prins Goda, who locked up and went straight on the corner. He seems to be able to predict the future then. Anyways, Mikula is using his aggressive, very aggressive lines through the corners to try and close the gap with Jonsson, which is currently at 4 seconds in total. Prins Goda is 2.8 seconds behind him. Considering the mechanical failures, the mechanical problems rather, that Mikula is having right now, will Prins Goda be able to close the gap with Mikula and take second place? Assuming he doesn't spin out again. Guess we're gonna have to find out as Mikula goes across the start-finish line, squiggling all over the place with his damaged car, but not letting go of the throttle. Just hammering the car through these corners and straights, attempting to close the gap, and he goes wide into the embankment. However, he seems to be fine. Mostly. That car is completely battered, but he still keeps racing. That is, ladies and gentlemen, quite frankly, amazing. Pure determination for the German. As he goes around the corner, Goda closing the gap even more. Will he attempt to overtake the beaten up car? Meanwhile, it seems like Jonsson is widening the gap from Mikula. It's now up to 9.7 seconds, and it seems like Ernesto is still in the pits. Maybe a mechanical failure on his part, and Mikula seems to be pitting himself as well. Yep, he's pitting. He cannot take that car. The car can't take it anymore. And here's Jonsson with almost 15 seconds to spare from the car behind him. I think we all know that if Jonsson doesn't mess up, he's gonna be able to take this victory home. I'm not entirely sure what happened to Ernesto. He's still in the pits and he's 5 laps down. Meanwhile, Marazzi is also pitting. Not that it's a dangerous move for him, since the car behind him is almost 1 or 2 laps down. So he's gonna get out of the pits just fine and keep his position. Meanwhile, Jonsson seems to be relaxing a little bit with his car, almost going at a leisurely pace. A bit of a stroll in my automobile. You know, kind of feeling. As he is indeed 24.3 seconds in front of Prins Goda in P2. Mikula has been lapped in the meantime, and so is Marazzi. Which means the only real competition Jonsson is going to see for a while is indeed Prins Goda. I'll never learn how to say that name. Anyways, Back on the long straight again. These cars going at insane speeds. Because remember, he's got a really big engine in the back of that car. However, it seems like Mikula is again behind him while still being a lap down. So that means he's in the way of Prisgoda. Will he move? No, wait, that's Marazzi. I am sorry, that was Marazzi in front of Prisgoda, not Mikula.
No, actually, I'm right behind Johnson. So
yeah,
I got out right behind Wilma, and the car seems to be fine now. Let's see what I can do. But yeah, Wilma basically has his win in the back now. So
yeah.
But hey, fair play to him. It was a lot of fun. It was a whole lot of fun. 10 out of 10 would do it again. Would do it again. 10 out of 10.
An incredible show of sportsmanship from Johnson, who pulled over several times just to let you catch up to him and some fun. Which is essentially what this kind of racing is. It's just sim racing. We do this for fun. There's no prize. There's no, well, I guess the prize is bragging rights, but these drivers are just doing it for fun. Again, kind of like Miki, kind of like Raikkonen. Sorry, I had a bit of a lapsus there. Kind of like Raikkonen racing in the real Formula One for Alfa Romeo and always starting at the back of the grid simply because he wants to have fun. Also because he drives a terrible car, but I digress.
Meanwhile, we're entering lap 28 soon out of 43, 42 plus the formation lap. So we're actually about halfway, but more than halfway through now. Which, you know, despite everything that happened, this race went by fast.
I was about to say that. I mean, it's not a particularly long track, and you've got fast cars with plenty of straightaways, so it doesn't take long. And Mikula spun out.
Yeah, as to quote Landon Norris, what damage do I have? Well, only talent.
What is Marazzi doing? Marazzi went off the track and has now rejoined. Seems like. Johnson still in P1, taking the car for a stroll, essentially. Just trying to keep the distance from Prisgoda, while at the same time not being pressured too much into making a mistake. Very smart thinking, Johnson. As he goes around that corner at incredible speeds, tail end kicking out a little bit. And despite the pace, despite the tail end kicking out, probably because he has worn out tires, he is still managing to widen the gap between him and Prisgoda, which is now at 41.1 seconds. Everybody else is a lap down, which is incredible to think of. Then again, the cars have always been spread out on this track for the entire race. So we didn't really get a lot of bunching up. It was just a magnificent battle for P1, which was sadly ended by some idiot. And Johnson goes a bit squiggly across that last corner before the long straight, but manages to recover and keep the car on track. As he goes across the corner, he seems to be ever so slightly struggling with his tires. Now the question is, will he pit? He's got enough of a lead to afford a pit and change his tires. But there's also about 12 laps left, 13 laps. So I might as well just hold on with those tires and keep it up, which is very risky, by the way. As it goes across the last corner before the start-finish straight. Meanwhile, Ernesto is still in the pits, 10 laps down. I have no idea what happened to him. He pitted about 10 laps ago, 11 laps ago, and he hasn't come out yet. So it's either a very big mechanical failure or there might be some problems with him. Absolutely brilliant driving from Johnson as he keeps widening the gap between the car behind him while struggling with worn out tires and trying to keep a somewhat relaxed pace around the track. The current positions are as follow. Johnson is in the lead. Priskoda is right behind him with 48.7 seconds to spare. Then we have Pascal Mikula in third place, a lap down from the lead car. In fourth place we have Marazzi. Fifth, Riddick. Gomez in sixth place. Armesto, who is in the pits still. It's been 11 laps. And then Guerrero, who probably had some technical issues and disconnected from the server and has officially retired from the race. Johnson going a bit wide on that corner. Not that it matters anyway, because the car behind him is 53 seconds away from him. Meanwhile, it seems like Mikula is actually right behind him, despite being a lap down. I don't know if he'll attempt to overtake the leader and eventually get one lap done, but he's right there. He's right there. Not too far behind him in distance, but far behind him in laps and position. Mikula's car seemed to be not going very straight, seems to be crabbing a little bit, or maybe it was just my impression. But still, that crash might have messed up some of the suspension bits. And yes, it seems like Mikula is getting closer to the lead car, closer and closer as time goes on. Yes, he is. There he is at the long straight, right behind him. Well, I say right behind him. But still, he is attempting to close the gap. Will he also attempt to overtake the car in front of him and get a lap done before the end of the race? Now, that's going to be a huge feat if he's able to do that. As he goes a little bit sideways through that corner and off the track, but manages to keep the car in control and back onto the track. Here he is at the start-finish straight. Again, just chipping away at that gap.
Power Master is now out of the pits, by the way. He's still crawling, but he's out of the pits. He's still completing laps. So he's definitely back from whatever happened to him. Well done.
I was about to say that. I noticed that he left
He is 12 laps down, but, you know, it doesn't matter. He's still getting classified anyway.
Well, what matters is completing the race in one piece.
Yep, which, despite the efforts of a few certain idiots, I personally am still able to do so. As I said, too bad, so sad. That didn't work, my friends. Oh, Johnson is wide, and he's into the gravel, and here he is.
You've gone a bit sideways as well, it seems, and you've passed him, which means you are no longer a lap down. If Mikula can get one lap done quickly.
The thing is, I'll still get blue flags as soon as the marshals have figured out that I'm a lap down, actually. I'm still 30 seconds behind Prigoda, but we'll see how that goes. I'll gladly take third place anyway. And yeah, Wilma definitely deserved that win as well. Hometown hero, home win, and there are the blue flags. Let's go, boys.
You're gonna have to let him go past. However, it seems like Jonsson is keeping his distance from Mikula. I don't think he really wants to pass him as Mikula spins out. What an unfortunate accident.
Oh well, just lack of talent. Just lack of talent again.
Lack of that counts as an accident in my book.
Oh well. No, it's just too hot, the tires. I was pushing, trying to get Prigoda because I was catching him by like 3 or 4 seconds a lap. But really, let's just cruise home. There's 10 laps to go, and yeah. I don't know exactly what else to say, except that this race was, despite the little interruption, I wouldn't call it a failure at all. This track worked. So personally, for me, this is a big win. Because this track, as we drive on it, is kind of, you know, my little baby, as I've been working on it for months before we started the season. And seeing how it works and produces a good race, hell yeah, I'll take third. I don't need to win for that. I've got a win in my book already for making this track work.
I think it's a great track. It's dangerous. Dangerous enough. Not as dangerous as a track we're going to be racing DTM cars on, because, oh my god, those tires are terrifying. But still, it is a dangerous track with plenty of straightaways, but also sudden corners that if you don't brake enough for, you're going to end up going wide or even worse, off the track. Yeah. And that's not even talking about the curbs, because these curbs, they're tire catchers. They can cause punctures.
As we saw, as we've seen a few times already today.
Yes, with cars pitting at really weird laps because of the punctures.
Anyway, yeah, lap 35 now. So let me just pull up the calculator or whatever. That's 9 laps to go. About to get to 8 laps to go when Wilmer crosses the line again. I'm looking at, you know what? We actually might see another somewhat close battle. I'm just looking on my display and seeing the gaps. Rudik versus Gomez. They're not too far apart, are they?
Let's get on board with Rudik and see what's going on.
The gap must be about maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and it's closing.
Yes, and he seems to be stuck behind Prigoda.
Huh.
So
I can see them on the map as well. There's Rudik, and in front of him is Gomez. Yeah, they definitely are. I think if Rudik can close up to Gomez, we have a fight on our hands again.
Exciting stuff. However, that means that Rudik is gonna have to pass the car that's currently in second position, being Brizgoda.
Yeah, either that or Daniel, you know, gets a bit of a move on. Although, well, he's in second place and has about a 30-second gap to the next car, which is me. So he can cruise as well. He gets, he's on a lead lap. He doesn't have any obligation to let the lap cars by. Then again, oh, we have a yellow flag somewhere. Never mind, that was just a short one.
Yeah,
that was just a little flash.
Yeah, it seems like Marazzi locked up the brakes and almost went wide. Marazzi is right behind Rudik, and he is closing the gap. So this is a battle of the battle of the lap down cars, essentially.
Well, the gap between Rudik and Gomez is now closed down quite a bit.
Oh yeah, but he still has P2 in front of him.
Yep.
Brizgoda, who has kind of been struggling with that car during this race. He hasn't really, been able to make up a lot of positions except for that one crash. Except for that one crash where he managed to, get from P1 for a couple of seconds, a taste of P1, and eventually move down to P2 once Jonsson floored it in his very, very powerful yellow car. And it still seems like Rudik is closing the gap, and Marazzi went off.
Oh boy. Well, to be fair to Daniel, it's his first race, and again, he's basically getting a baptism by fire. First race at CMH, and he's being put into one of those big Lolas with I think it's not even a 5-liter. I think it might be even a 7-liter V8. I don't know. I have to look that up again. So yeah, fair play to him for the fact that in his debut race he's sitting second.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't want to.
All the credit to him. Definitely, he definitely worked for it hard, and he deserves it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's a novice with a really hard to drive car. I'm not saying that he's lacking the skills. Novice, he might be struggling. As I've said at the start of the race, we had some other novices as well, and I did theorize that maybe we would have seen some people struggling with the cars since they were novices and all that.
It looks okay. We had I counted 3 novices, but turns out only 2 because the third one was an idiot. Martin Rudik, he's in a 2-liter car, so he's not expected to be setting the world alight. But given that he's in a 2-liter car, he's doing well, keeping up with Lucas Gomez.
Yeah, he just passed Brizgoda. Rudik just passed him.
Okay, I see a lot of smoke in front of me, so that might have been something. Oh yeah, I can see it as well. Yeah, Rudik is doing well again as well, driving that Porsche 910. And Brizgoda in that big engined Lola, he can only get my utmost respect for putting himself into that car and just doing what he does. Speaking of which, on track right now, there's only one car between Wilma Johnson and Daniel Brizgoda. We might see Brizgoda actually be a lap down from Johnson. In that case, I think that's the first time in road racing history almost, since I've only ever seen such instances in oval racing like NASCAR, that the leader or the winner of the race laps the entire field. Well, let's see how that happens. I don't want to curse them or jinx it, but that looks like a massive feat for the hometown hero, Wilma Johnson.
Would be an incredible sight to behold indeed. As Rudik lets Brizgoda pass as he gets a blue flag. It seems like that battle is over, and oh my god, they touched a little bit. Almost pit maneuvered him. But Brisgoda seems to be keeping it in check as he goes wide, and never mind, they pass him again. It seems like the gap between Rudik and Gomez is somewhat slowly closing, and Jonsson is right behind them. He's right there. As they go on the start-finish straight, and Brisgoda crashes out again. My god, and he gets lapped. He gets lapped by Jonsson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an incredible feat for the hometown boy, Jonsson, who has lapped the entire field. In some cases, multiple times. Considering Ernesto is 12 laps behind, and some of the, like 3 cars are 2 laps down. So, yes, indeed. He managed to lap the entire field. That car with that much power in the hands of an expert driver can really, really go fast. You can really drive it hard. It seems like Marazzi is overtaking Brisgoda.
Brisgoda is slow. Brisgoda is definitely slow. I can tell you, a minute ago I was looking on my display, I was 20 seconds behind. Now I'm 2 seconds behind and closing fast.
Yes,
not sure what's going on. Oh, big lockup, big lockup. Keep it. Oh, keep it.
He's gone wide.
Oh,
and
so have I. Oh,
he's
boy.
crashed into the barrier.
Oh man. Okay, very unlucky for him, but still, he's third.
He's still third. Still a podium position, but it seems like his car has been damaged. Seems like that front left suspension is done for. Not so sure about the steering, but I'd imagine it's completely knackered. As it locks up again for this corner. It seems like one of the tires is flat.
Oh, in that case, he definitely has to pit. Oh no, a flat tire is the last thing you want to have on this track. There's only 3 laps to go, by the way. Jonsson has crossed the start-finish line to start lap 41 of 43.
And yes, he seems to be pitting. Brisgoda is indeed pitting. As he locks up the wheels once again to enter the pits. Meanwhile, Marazzi is right behind Mikula, who's in 2nd place. However, with Marazzi being 2 laps down, it's not going to matter to Brisgoda. And if he passes Mikula, he's going to get a blue flag.
Let's see and hope that Brisgoda actually only chose the new tires, or maybe some damage repair, that he can get out ahead of Marazzi, because currently Marazzi and Brisgoda are on the same lap. So if Marazzi gets past the pit lane now while Brisgoda is still in it, you know, Marazzi is going to get to 3rd. Well, let's see how that happens. Let's see what happens, actually.
That could cost Brisgoda the podium.
Could, if Brisgoda doesn't get out of the pits in the next, like, 20 seconds.
Yes.
See if he's still in the pits.
As I saw Marazzi. Oh, he's coming out now. He's coming
there
out
he
now.
is. He's moving. He's moving. Watch the pits.
Passed him again. Jonsson passed him again. The 3rd car, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 laps down.
Okay, Brisgoda's out of the pits. About 20 seconds ahead of Marazzi, and he's still 3rd. 2 laps to go.
Yep. Seems to be able to keep position, but Jonsson seems to have spun out.
That's not good. Who did spun? Who spun
Jonsson.
out? It looks. Oh yeah. Well, okay.
Jonsson spun out.
That's not too much of an issue. He's still, you know, he's a lap ahead.
Yeah, he's a lap ahead. It's not going to be a problem for him. Let's see that happen. Yep, he lost it at the corner. Probably the worn tires are finally catching up to him, and he almost rejoined him in front of Rudik and Brisgoda.
Okay, let's see. 2 laps to go. Johnson's now entering that hairpin at the end of the back straight. Well, I think everyone can just slow down and chill a bit now, and there's no... Well, okay, everyone except for Lucas Gomez and Martin Rudik, they are still somewhat close together.
Yeah, they're still battling it out, duking it out, actually, as they are...
Amazing.
What is that? 0.3, 0.4 seconds? No, that's 4
Well,
seconds. Sorry. That would be
0.04 laps, so that's about... Yeah, it's about 6 to 10 seconds, if my maths are correct, and they usually aren't.
Meanwhile, Johnson is attempting to pass the lap-down car, which is Rudik, who lets him pass with no problems. Excellent.
And we're on the final lap now. Final lap for Wilmer Johnson, who will take the win here at Mantorp Park. Home win for Wilmer Johnson. And he also said the other day that the race is actually quite close in date to his birthday. So I don't know if his birthday is still ahead of us or if he already had his birthday. But either way, that's gonna be one hell of a birthday present for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can't even imagine the kind of party he's gonna throw.
Well, let's see.
Gomez seems to be locking up his brakes a little bit. The front of his car seems to be damaged a little bit as well.
Yeah,
It is.
I think Wilmer actually, on that one lap where we all both were bumper to bumper out of the final corner, and I know there were a lot of those laps, but on one in particular, he actually kind of touched my rear, but I didn't actually feel it. All I saw was on the display again, the damage display, that there had been a hit, but you know, nothing noticeable really. But I think that might have dented his headlight.
Yes, that's what bumper-to-bumper racing is. Also, I was talking about Gomez, not Johnson.
Oh, sorry. I didn't notice. Anyway, here he comes. Here he comes. Let's go. Who's gonna win it?
We already know that, essentially.
Yes, Wilmer Johnson crosses the line and wins at Mantorp Park. Congratulations. Daniel Prigoda already crossed the start-finish line in 3rd, Martin Rudik in 6th, and I can toot my own horn and say I'm 2nd. There comes Felipe Marazzi in 4th. The only cars still on track on a race lap are Lucas Gomez and Pau Amesto. Amesto is about to come to the start-finish line. He's now in the final sector.
Gomez is still on the long straight.
Yes.
Amesto is now brakes.
Amesto is now in the final corner, and he's done it. 7th place for Pau Amesto from Spain.
Gomez is still quite a ways behind the rest of the pack, despite being in 5th place. But not that it matters anyway, because the race is over. Everyone's crossed the line, so there's no positions to gain, and also no
Everyone's
positions
going
to
back.
lose.
Everyone's going back to the pits now. Lucas Gomez is now in the final sector.
Yep, he's
There he
coming
comes.
up to the last corner. Locking up again.
Going to the final corner, and there comes... Oh, sorry, Martin. And 5th place for Lucas Gomez Tamba from Spain. Here he comes.
He's sideways. Now he's backwards. He spun out a little bit on the straight. But he has recovered the car just fine and didn't crash. How you say that as it goes off the track again.
Okay, everyone goes back to the pits. Oops. I should really need to...
You Austin powered it.
Yeah, I kind of did, but... Oops. Okay. I'm gonna stop trying to park it. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Please Goda entering the pits.
So look.
And that means there's only one car that is still on the track, and that would be Armesto,
Yes, he's still on track.
who is 12 laps down.
Yeah, but you know, he finished. Anyway,
Well, seems like
that's
it for the
that's
1969 Nordic Challenge. Did I say that right? Nordic Challenge, yeah.
Yep, Nordic Challenge Cup, round 3 at Mantorp Park. And honestly, look at that poster; is beautiful. I like how they designed posters back then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not a Nordic Challenge Cup car on that poster, but you know, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will quickly close down the server. So did it shut down the server? Yes, it did. Okay, I just lost connection. That means it did shut down the server. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. You know what? I'm freaking honest, and if I lose my cool and start swearing, please excuse me. What was I gonna say? Yeah. Despite what happened during the race, I'm actually glad that we caught it on camera because it just shows just how it just shows how retarded some people are, and those who I mean, they know I mean them. Look, okay.
Well, yes, but let's not
Well,
indulge
no.
into that too much.
I just want to mention it real quick because they think they're so they think they're so smart, or not even they. I think it's really just one person. You know, Reno. Hello, you're listening to this. I know that. You think you're so friggin' smart, trying to take me out on a Wednesday night race, when Wednesdays we just have some fun. It's not even that serious. Well done. You just wow. My friggin' light bulb, the friggin' light bulb in my bedroom has more, you know, has more brains than you. Yeah. Nice try. It didn't work, my friend. Anyway, that little tirade aside, and trust me, that won't happen again during a broadcast. I don't want to make this a 2-hour podcast after the race again. Thank you very much for watching. Let's have a quick look at what happens next at CMH before we sign off. Again, remember, is that next week already, or is it in 2 weeks? The 22nd of August is next week, Sunday.
Yes, that is in 11 days.
Yes, in 11 days, we go back to Silverstone, the home of British Motorsport, for the Formula 5000 Silverstone Grand Prix. Loads of cars to drive. They are a lot of fun. They are hella deadly. Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it like hell. So, August 22nd. Mark it on your calendars. Next up, August 29th, 1 week after that, counting towards the annual Classic Motorsport Top Gold Star Award, the 20th ADAC Flugplatzrennen from Diepholz. That's somewhere in West Germany. I actually don't know exactly where, but it's a fun track. August 29th. Again, as I mentioned, out of 22 cars in the entry list, 15, well, actually 14, I think. Let me check after that, but lots of them are already taken. So if you want to take part, sign up fast. And as I said, we're DTM racing. This is always a lot of fun. Door banging, wheel to wheel action, bumper to bumper. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well.
Plenty of rolling over.
That as well. And after that, we go back to Wednesday night racing, round 4 at Understore for the Nordic Challenge Cup on September 1st, 2021. With more than 25 cars still to choose from, and one of them just became available, one of the chevrons. So thank you for that.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. with that said, that is the next round at Anderstorp at Scandinavian Raceway. Actually, it's called Scandinavian Raceway Anderstorp. September 1st. Tune in. And with that said, let's have a little final verdict on this whole event. Jack, that was your second gig in commentating. First time without much help from Matt, and just me chirping in a few times. How did you see that? What's your impression?
I think that was a magnificent battle for first place between you and Jonsson. That was some spectacular racing. And I just think the race was really, really good and exciting because you had all these battles, but mainly that battle for first place. The both of you didn't want to give up that position. And it just blew my mind, the kind of racing that happened then. That was that was actually quite impressive. Kind of sad about the whole ordeal with the guy in the Chevron, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
All right.
Either way, brilliant racing.
I completely agree. Let me just take off my racing helmet because I want to talk about that from a completely objective view. I liked the racing as well. I liked watching the battles that happened. I must say, with Wilma, there was a lot of, there were a lot of opportunities for both him and myself to just drive off when one of us spun. What I must say, Wilma is one of those drivers you don't see every day. You really don't see that much. He's one of a kind, basically. These really gentleman drivers, which there's not a lot of left. And that was just a lot of fun. And I know Wilma had a lot of fun as well. And I hope we can get to see that next week. Not next week, but next
in
time.
11 days.
Not in 11 days either. I mean on September 1st when we go back to Nordic Challenge Cup racing. With that said, as I said, even that little incident, I'll just call it, insert troll face. Yeah, even that one just kind of brought all of us who drove in that race even closer. Because, it just makes you closer if you can kind of have one. Nah, whatever. I was about to go back on a tangent. Anyway, I'll make myself sign off this stream now before I go on another tangent for 2 hours. That's it from Mantorp Park in Sweden. Wilma Johnson, a very much deserved winner after 42 laps of high-intensity racing. From Mantorp Park in Sweden, it is so long and good night from both Pascal Mikula and Jack Morelli, with Evgeny Sidorenko as our director. Good night, and see you soon.
See you at the next race.